These 6 true horror stories will haunt you forever. Not every ghost story is fiction. Some nightmares walk beside us, unnoticed, until it's too late. Tonight, I'll share 3 horrifying stories, each one real, each one darker than the last. You won't forget them. If you sleep with the lights off, don't. In the snow-covered fields of the 1920s Germany, there stood a small, quiet farm. The Gruber family lived there, distant, private, and hardworking. But something was watching them. Weeks before the tragedy, the maid quit. She said the house was haunted. Footsteps in the attic, doors opening by themselves. No one believed her. Then the footprints came, leading from the forest to the farmhouse, but none leading back. March 31st, 1922. One by one, each family member was lured into the barn and bludgeoned with a mattock. Not quickly, not painlessly, including a 7-year-old girl. And it gets worse. The killer stayed. He lived in the house with their corpses for days, ate their food, fed the animals, lit the fireplace. When police arrived, the killer was gone. And all they found were rumors. A neighbor with a motive, a secret affair, incest, a diary that went missing. Over 100 people were interrogated, 0 answers. To this day, no one knows who did it. It was just a vacation, a solo trip to LAA, break from studies. Elisa Lamb checked into the infamous Cecil Hotel, a place known for death, suicide, and serial killers. But what happened next still haunts the internet. Security footage shows Elisa in an elevator. She presses every button, peeps outside, jumps back in, hides in a corner, moves like she's talking to someone or something we can't see. Then she vanishes. For 19 days, no one found her. Until hotel guests complained about water pressure and a strange taste. Her body was discovered inside a sealed rooftop water tank. Naked, drowned. No camera saw her reach the roof. The hatch was too heavy to open from the inside. There were no signs of trauma, no drugs, and no witnesses. Police ruled it accidental. But how did she get up there? And what was she running from in that elevator? Theories exploded. Sleepwalking, psychosis, demonic possession. One thing's for sure. Whatever happened in that elevator, she didn't walk out alone. In Nizhny Novgorod, Russia, there lived a brilliant scholar, a quiet man. He spoke 13 languages, published in academic journals, respected, intelligent, harmless, until police visited his home in 2011. What they found made seasoned officers leave the room in horror. 29 mummified girls, dressed in doll-like clothes, sitting in chairs, lying in beds, staring blankly. Anatoly had dug up their graves. He kept detailed logs of cemeteries, chose his favorites, dug them out, preserved them, gave them names, celebrated birthdays. He said he loved them, talked to them. He believed he could bring them back to life. Inside each doll, real human remains. Skin stretched over wax. Eyes replaced with buttons or glass. He lived with them for almost a decade, and no one noticed. When arrested, Anatoly calmly said, "They were lonely. I wanted to keep them warm." He was never imprisoned, declared mentally unfit and locked in a psychiatric facility. The parents of the girls? They never even got to bury them again. Some monsters don't hide in shadows. Some read books, drink tea. In 1935, a man checked into the President Hotel in Kansas City. He gave a false name, Roland T. Owen. No luggage, just a comb, a toothbrush, and a look that chilled the bellhop. He barely left the room. The next day, Staff reported the phone being constantly off the hook. They found him in the dark, sitting silently, claiming he was waiting for someone. On the third day, the silence ended. He was found naked, tied up, and stabbed multiple times. Blood was everywhere. The phone cord was cut, yet he was still alive. When asked who did it, his last words were, "Nobody. No suspect, no clear motive." But guests recalled something bizarre. A deep voice had been heard through the walls the night before, calling out to someone named Don. Then, nothing. To this day, no one knows who Roland was or who murdered him. Some believe he was being watched, punished. Others think he never checked in alone. Whoever Don was, he never left. In the small town of Belmez, Spain, a woman named Maria Gomez was preparing dinner when she noticed a human face forming in the concrete floor of her kitchen. She scrubbed it away. The next day, it returned, and this time, it was screaming. Soon, more faces appeared. Men, women, children, all disfigured and terrified. Experts came. Some said the house was built over an old graveyard. Others believed it was a hoax. But nothing could explain this. The faces changed expression. Sometimes they'd cry. Other times they'd stare in silence. Some looked angry. Others just sad. The floor was torn up, but new faces formed again. For over 30 years, the house was watched and studied. Even when sealed off completely, new faces kept appearing. No one ever solved it. And even today, the faces still live under that floor. It's known as the Buzzer, a mysterious Russian radio station transmitting 24/7 since the 1970s. A low buzzing noise, repeating, non-stop, no DJ, no announcements, just static and hum. But sometimes, a voice breaks in, cold, robotic, reading a string of names or numbers. Yevgeny, 74, Degenerate, 281. Then silence. Then the buzz returns. No one knows why it exists. The Russian government denies it, but radio operators around the world have tracked strange sounds in the background. Morse code, metallic bangs, faint whispers. Some believe it's a dead man's switch. If the signal ever stops, nuclear missiles launch. Others think it's broadcasting to sleeper agents, hidden spies awaiting commands. The most terrifying theory? That the signal isn't for us. It's containing something. In 2010, the signal briefly cut out. And when it came back, it wasn't alone. A voice whispered, "Command 143, execute." Then, the buzz returned. It's still broadcasting, right now. But no one knows to whom. These stories aren't legends. They're not creepypastas. They're real, and they're proof. The worst horrors don't come from the movies. They come from ordinary people, behind closed doors. Like this video if you're still watching, and if you're brave enough to hear more, subscribe for weekly dives into the world's darkest true stories. Sleep tight.